everybody. It's me, Sarah from MU Pre-ETS. Today I'm here at Marshfield Chevrolet and I get to talk to my dad, Jason McKnight.
Hi everybody, my name is Jason McKnight. I am the director here at Marshfield Chevrolet, and what we do here at the dealership is, of course, we sell cars, both new and used. We work on cars in the service department to keep them running and on the road, and then we have parts for the cars that we work on, and just to help people maintain their cars, oil changes and things like that. We do financing on cars, where if someone needs a loan, we help them get a loan for their new or pre-owned car. We have an office that helps everything run smooth, handles all the money and all the different accounts that are required to run a business, taxes and things like that. And then we have salespeople, of course, that help people find a car that they like, that meets their needs and wants, and then helps them get a good deal on that car. We take trade-ins. We have people that clean the cars up. It takes a lot of people to make sure that the lot looks good, the cars are clean, and they're ready for people to take home.
Would you mind showing us around a little bit and explaining anything else you want to tell us about the jobs here?
I'm happy to do that.
Yay.
Just follow me.
We get to explore.
So this is one of the finance offices here. That's Steve over there. He does financing on cars. He helps people get loans. And then sometimes people, they just pay cash for cars too, so we don't need Steve all the time, for at least the financing part. And then here's another finance office. A new car sales manager. His name's Chris. And he helps people find cars they like and works with the salespeople. And there's a salesperson in there talking to a customer. This is called the showroom floor, and as you can see, we have a car sitting over here on the showroom floor. That's a brand new Corvette. That's a sports car. That only costs about $100,000. That was a little higher price. Over here is the office. Now the office is, like I said, where they answer the phones. They answer the phones when people call in. They write checks. They pay bills. They pay all of our employees, because everyone that works here, of course, gets a paycheck. And they're the ones who make that paycheck happen. They keep track of all the people that we owe money to, and all the money that's owed to us. They work with titles to the cars, things like that. Every car that we sell has a title to it, and they're the ones that help work with that kind of paperwork. They work with computers, they work with phones, they work with calculators, they work with lots of different office equipment, copy machines and fax machines and all that good stuff.
And today, when I change my oil, they'll be taking my money.
They like to take money. Most of the time they're pretty nice to me, but sometimes they can get kind of mean to me too when I mess up. That one over there, she's the really mean one.
That would be me. That's Lori.
That's right? Lori. She's the office manager. So she runs everything. And that's Laylee back over there.
Thank you guys for keeping him in line. We try. He needs it.
This down here is the customer waiting area for the service department. When we have cars in service, it's lunchtime, so there's nobody here right now, I don't think, but this is where we have people wait for their cars to get done when we're working on them. Back here, we're headed towards the service department. And this is the service manager's office here. That is not the service manager, but you can say hi to Harry.
Hi, Harry.
And then we have the parts department here. This is JP. He works in the parts department. So if your car or truck ever needs a part, he'll be the one to help you. Yep, that's him, JP.
Hi, JP.
Nice to meet you.
So JP, tell them what you do in the parts department.
Basically, we take phone calls. I do a lot with the backside with the guys in the shop, but anything that they need to do, any qualified repairs or anything like that, we try to get. If we ain't got it, we get it ordered in for them. Make sure we have it. That way we can get all repairs done, get everything back out on the road safely.
That's right. JP's been with us for a couple of years now.
Almost 2 now, yeah.
Wow.
Well, not counting the first time.
That's good. Well, anyway, we're going to walk out in the service department here.
Information off your vehicle here, then we'll go up here and confirm everything. I'll get you a key to my system. Car. Give me all your information. I'm gonna look you up on my scheduler here. Okay, so I show you, we got you down for an oil change. There's no other issues you're having right now, so that's gonna do it for today.
Yeah, just that.
Okay, well, let us get going on it here. We'll get back there on the text and get it going. Do you know where our waiting room's at?
Yes, I do.
Okay, if you would, just go in there and we'll come get you. If we got any questions, we'll come see you. Otherwise, we'll just get started working on your car.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. We're going to kind of walk back towards the service department real quick. Show you what that looks like.
What's your name?
I'm Rob.
Rob, okay.
Yes, nice to meet you.
This is Tristan. He's an okay guy except for the fact that he's a Broncos fan. That's not good.
I think that's my best character.
So back here is where we work on all the cars. That white Suburban is up on the rack there. It's having its oil changed. Okay, that's what they call an alignment machine. And we put the car up on there and then we check to make sure that the wheels and everything are in place, and that the front suspension, that there's nothing wrong with it. Then we take tires on and off, rims over here. This is a tire machine over here. So that machine is what will put a tire on a rim, the metal part, and then take it off. We got tires sitting everywhere, as you can see. There's a lot of them. And then down through here, we have other racks where we work on the cars. And we're usually working on 6 or 8 of them at a time, usually. So that's what we do back here. We work on cars. That's Steve. Steve is the one who's going to change your oil.
Hi, Steven. I'm Sarah. Thanks for the honor. Here comes my car. Here's my car. Right now, Steven's checking my tires to make sure that they have a good amount of tread and make sure that I'm safe. So thank you so much.
The key is for your locking list.
For what?
You have a locking list right here. There's a key to take them off.
I threw everything in this so that way for this video. Oh, man.
Good, sir. I'm proud of you. If you ever get a flat tire, you have to have it.
Okay, alright.
Because otherwise they won't be able to take your wheels off.
I can recommend putting them in the glove box.
Okay, I will do. So I just learned there's a key thingy for my tires that I'm supposed to have in the glove box. So I will know that next time. Because if I ever have a flat, I have to have that thingy. Thank you, Steven and Dad.
The engine air filter is good.
Okay.
Coolant is actually just write it down to negative 40 degrees. So very good on that.
Oh, good. Is that washer fluid?
Yes, ma'am.
Wiper, I mean, yeah. Oh. I about cleaned you out, I guess.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. We got plenty of it.
So how long have you worked here?
Working on 5 years.
Awesome.
June will be
Cool.
5 years.
What did you do before this?
Detailing.
Do you like this better than detailing?
Yeah. It's all about better.
Awesome.
I just got burned out with the detailing. It was the same thing. I mean, this is the same answer, the same thing, but there's also different things that come with it from time to time. I mean,
A little more variety.
yeah. And the
Cool.
newer the vehicle is, there's
Yeah.
parts are located in different areas.
Yeah. There you go.
You doing a documentary or?
So,
Cool.
yeah.
That's cool. We're gonna get ready to raise it up and do the tire rotation. I got everything done up here where we can drain the oil and everything while it's in the air. And rear brakes are about a 5. Front brakes are about a 9.
On a scale of what? What's good and what's bad?
3, anything under 3 recommended being changed. 4 is, if we nothing at 4, we recommend, within the next oil change, get them changed. Anything above a 4, you're good. They go all the way up to 12 on the highest end of them. Another thing is when they're getting low down to, below a 3 to 4, you start worrying about them gouging into the rotor surfacing, making a lip, therefore wears them out, and also could burn them.
Been there and done that for.
Like the tire tread depth right here is a 7.
Yeah.
You always want to keep trying to keep the better tread in the front for traction. These right here, I'm measuring at a 9.
Okay.
So moving them, swapping them around made it better.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the lot manager here. We're gonna what we mainly deal with, or I mainly deal with here, is getting our cars checked in, stocked in, and ready for retail. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We cover a lot of things: detailing cars, to lot coordinating, to doing deliveries, going out on the field, everything. Yeah, so out on the lot, when you drive past the dealership and you see everything lined up the way it is, that's us.
Yeah.
We get it all straightened. We go out there, we move stuff around, kind of try to group things together, by brand, make it easier. Just make sure the lot's clean.
Yeah. Probably keeps you pretty busy here. This good size lot.
One of the busiest ones here,
Yeah.
definitely. So then we can walk back there and I can show you.
What we're gonna go see right now is the car detailing area.
We're gonna go back to the wash bay.
Wash bay. Cool. Thank you.
It's not really being on TV, if that's what you want to call it. So. This is the wash bay. This is where, whenever you come to buy a car, anyone comes to buy a car, this is where it gets prepped. You know, we can fit 3 cars in here, so we've got, you know, enough room to definitely stay busy. I mean, all kinds of stuff goes on back here. So as far as taking off decals, lettering on the side, putting on. But yeah, this is where everything gets washed and cleaned up. And we have an automatic car wash actually right here. We're the only dealership, I believe, here in town that has an automatic car wash.
So I guess you get some cars that are okay and some cars that are absolutely filthy, disgusting, awful.
Yeah, we get a lot that are bad, and if they're too bad, what we'll do is we'll send them over to our vendors,
Oh, okay.
which is just right down the road.
So you can take the heavy duty jobs sometimes, yeah.
Yep, they will, and they're dust to glory. We'll advertise for them. They do a good job.
Okay, cool.
If you can walk right off the street and have them do it. But yeah, we work a lot with them too, and sound and vision. They do all our tint. Once we get a car checked in off of the truck that we bought, you know, what we'll do is we'll bring it here to get prepped for the lot. So we'll wash it, we'll detail it, we'll get all the stickers on it, buyer's guide, information that needs to be on it for the customer. And then from here, we'll go to the lot with it and find its home.
What's the best thing you can do to take good care of your car to make it more valuable as far as that goes? Like,
Don't smoke in it. No smoking. That will help the retail value tremendously. Just general care, as in, you know, changing your oil, keeping your fluids topped off, you know, getting your tires, you know, rotated and balanced. Every oil change, every other, depending on how much you drive. Not driving rough, and what I mean by rough, taking corners hard, hitting, you know, going fast over speed bumps, things like that. I've been here a little over a year now. About a year and a half, I'd say.
and what did you do before this?
I started out here in the wash bay, actually. I was a lot porter. That's where you start at any dealership usually, if you don't have experience. So you start as a lot porter, and what they do, they're the ones that do all the detailing and the washing and things like that. And I just kind of oversee it. And like I said, deal with getting our stuff stocked in. And my biggest responsibility is getting our cars from being ran through the shop to coming out of the shop to get detailed to hit the lot. This is the best job I've ever had. Yeah, I really enjoy it. The car business is fun. You can ask for a more relaxed, good, steady environment. The people here are great. I've met some of the coolest people, nicest people. And Jason being one of them, I'm very thankful for him. Because like I said, I've enjoyed it here. You know, moved my way up.
Yeah.
They take care of you.
Well, thank you, Alex. I'm
You're
gonna head
welcome.
back to
You're
check
welcome.
on my oil change. Hi, is it so that you're Sam, right?
Yes, I'm
Sam Hammock.
What do you do here?
I'm one of the managers here.
You're a pre-owned manager, right?
I am one of
Do you like it?
them. Do I like it?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
How long have you been here?
23 years.
All right, it's nice to see you, Sam. All right, my tires have been rotated, and hopefully my oil will be changed soon. Who knows what I'm gonna see here, but probably I figure I just see it. I can go nowhere there. Whoa. So do you know, is my oil pretty low, or is it okay? So you get to kind of be trained like on the job to start out with?
Yeah, we have to go through stuff called GM training. We have classes that we have to do. I've completed all my fundamentals, which is where I can do all the oil changes. I can do some of the warranty work, some of the smaller stuff. I can do those. I'm working my way up, you know, gradually learning on one line, literally.
Yeah.
It's not a challenging thing. It's just
Time and
never ending.
experience?
It's never ending.
Yeah.
It's always going, but I have noticed that, I started here, I started in the detail department, I was over there for just a little over a year, and then they asked me if I wanted to come over here. I was like, yeah, sure. And I started right there, and I kind of worked my way.
You were in the detail at Marshfield.
Yeah, right over where you were just at.
Where'd you work before Marshfield?
I actually worked over here at Chrysler, but before that I've done construction and stuff like that. But I got where I couldn't do that anymore, so but I'm here now, and it has its days.
Yeah.
There are some days where you're ready for the end of the day, and there's some days where it's something new and you have to learn something, and it takes your mind away from everything else. It's like, oh wow, I didn't know that worked like that. With electrical cars and stuff like that coming in, that's something I've been kind of focusing on as far as my training goes, and there's a lot to learn.
Yeah. Do you have to use very much math?
In some cases, yes.
Yeah.
In some cases, you do. Like graphs, stuff like that, where you're measuring, the difference between the way it's supposed to operate and the way it is operating. You gotta be able to figure all that difference out.
Oh, okay.
It's not a real big demanding math, but sometimes at least the basic math knowledge does come in to help a lot. The same with like on your tires, want to keep the air pressures, We have some people that overinflate them. I don't recommend that because it's going to wear the center out before it does the edges.
My mom scares me and says that the tire can explode. Have you ever seen a tire explode?
I have.
I don't know.
I actually have seen a person, it wasn't even on a car, they actually, my grandfather was a mechanic.
Yeah.
And as a little kid, I was in a shop, and this is why this means a lot to me, because I know some things coming into it now. I'm like, wow, there's a whole lot I thought I knew that I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I actually seen them kind of just laying on the ground, aired it up, and they walked away for maybe 30 seconds, came back. And they're only supposed to have like 40 pounds of pressure max. They had 60 pounds. They unhooked it, walked away, and the tire literally exploded off the wheel. Well, there was a lot of things in school that bored me. But looking back on it, there's some things I wish I would have slowed down, would have paid more attention to it. But there are days it's fun. And there's those days where, just like at school, you stick with it. You see yourself to the end of the day. It all works out.
Yeah.
You gotta pay attention. Don't go any faster than what you can.
Yeah.
That's where mistakes happen when you get going too fast.
Yeah.
All the oil has now been drained out of it. You can run a tire pressure anywhere from 30 to 40 pounds. It will sometimes if you have a tire light kick on once in a while through the sensor, and that is a plus or minus 6 pounds of pressure. So if it does come on, usually it just means tire is about a pound or two off. Cold weather is big on that. They want to take the air out of your tires. And some people kind of panic about it. Me, I'm on time. I before I even get in my vehicle, I look at the tires. And I'm like, okay, well that tire looks okay, and if it feels a little low, sometimes it could be just due to weather conditions, and sometimes it may have a leak. That is actually what I started in. While I was in high school, my junior and senior year, I got to go through an OTC program. And I started doing that, but they only went to a level 1 and 2. So level 1 and 2 is basically, just fixing flats and doing all things. And you couldn't even touch a brake pad.
Okay, this is Matt Rosenthal. He's one of my best mechanics, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about what it's taken for him to get to where he's at.
Okay, well, first of all, I've been here for almost 9.5 years. Started on the lube rack back in 2011. So moved here from Baltimore. Relocated to Missouri. And after doing oil changes for about 4 years, I decided I wanted to do more. I've always had the always worked on my own stuff at home, stuff like that. So I wanted to give that part of it a try. And at first, it started out with a lot of online training, a lot of online classes. And GM has what they call virtual classroom training, where you're actually on you're still in a virtual setting, you're here in the dealership, but there's actually an instructor, GM instructor on the other end. And he's going through the class with you. You take a test at the end on what you've learned and stuff like that. I've done numerous online classes, spent weeks at a time in Dallas, Texas, Mobile, Oklahoma, stuff like that. So I've pretty much been all over the area with my training. There's a lot of training involved, and it's changing all the time.
And so I guess does that come with better pay and opportunities, I assume?
Yes, yeah, most definitely. As your training goes up, and yes, you definitely get more opportunities. You get to work on more. You get to fix more.
Yeah.
And your pay goes up. As a result.
So how many years did it take you?
I started my training back in 2015, and here we are, 2021, and I actually have no more online or hands-on classes that I can take.
Okay, awesome.
There are new ones coming out. There are some new ones that come out this year, but they're all just online classes. So, I mean, it does take time, and as we all know, vehicle technology changes constantly.
Yeah.
I'm actually the only one in the shop that is certified to do the hybrids and the electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're constantly evolving, constantly changing. And me, even though I've been in it for 9 years, I still learn new stuff every day.
Yeah, I bet. And do you get to go at your own pace, like with the classes, one or two at a time, or how do you do it?
Me, I see what classes are open when I was actually doing the training. If it was something that the dealership needed or GM said that the dealership needed, then they would go ahead and send me to that class as long as I had the prerequisites to take that class. But yeah, I usually just basically went at my own pace. The way I saw it, the more I learned, the more money I was going to make, and the more I'd be able to work on. And believe me, I stay quite busy.
Awesome. Well, what advice do you have? Like, I work with high school students, so
Yes.
What advice would you have for a high school student as far as how to be a responsible and good worker?
I would say if you're going to work in this field, like any other field, master it. Go through your training. Do your training, pay attention, and make sure that you're following the directions that they're giving you. They're giving you those directions for a reason. Because me, the way I approach every vehicle is I approach it as if it's my own. If my family is behind the wheel or somebody I love is driving that vehicle, if you can approach it with that attitude, then you'll do your best and you'll fix it right the first time every time.
Well, thank you so much, Matt. It was
Okay.
really nice to meet you.
All right, no problem.
Hi, and now I'm here with Emily. Emily, you are customer service. You're at
Customer
Marshfield?
service advisor, yes.
Customer service advisor. How long have you done that?
It's been six and a half months, I think.
Awesome. Wow, it sounds like my dad is very proud of her, and so it sounds like she's like accelerating and doing awesome and very successful very quickly. So, Emily, my job is to tell high school students how to be good workers. So, what advice do you have for a high school student when it comes to being successful and responsible?
Just stay motivated. I know that's a lot of jobs that I've had. You kind of, after the first few weeks, you kind of lose motivation. I haven't really had that problem here. I like what I do, so find something also that you enjoy doing and not just something that you hate. That's hard to do.
Hello, I'm here talking with my dad today. He has worked here at Marshfield Chevrolet for 29 years, and I'm really looking forward to the information he has to share with us about the positions they have here and what it takes to be a successful worker.
Yeah, I started selling cars when I was 18 years old, right out of high school. I came down when I started here in 1991. I started here as a finance manager.
What is your title and what are your duties here?
Yes, I am the director of the dealership, which means I'm responsible for everything that goes wrong and get very little credit for anything that goes right. And that's a joke, of course. But I pretty much run the whole place. I'm in charge of the sales process and the salespeople, and I'm in charge of the service department when they work on cars, and I'm in charge of the parts department that stocks and gets parts for cars when they break and they need to be maintained properly. I'm in charge of the office and pretty much everything that goes on. If a customer's upset, I get to talk to them. If a customer's happy, I like that a lot better. Of course, that's what we shoot for.
So what qualities are you looking for in a job applicant?
Well, we want them to be intelligent, hardworking, responsible, clean cut. We deal with the public, so we have we appearance and personal hygiene and things like that are real important. Dress appropriately, and show up every day when you're supposed to show up. Work hard while you're here. Take personal responsibility. So when you do a job, make sure that you always do your best. Because we don't want to have to tell somebody constantly what to do and how to do it. We hope that that person, once they learn what the job entails, that their own drive and, like I said, sense of self-responsibility is going to keep them moving in the right direction and ensure that they expect themselves to do a good job. We expect them to be honest, to always tell the truth. If someone makes a mistake, I have a lot of respect for them if they just own up to it. They come to me, they say, I made a mistake. And if that's the case, we address it, we talk about it, and we figure out how not to make the same mistake again. I don't expect anyone to be perfect, but of course we do. We want to learn from our mistakes, and we want to try to not repeat those mistakes, because those mistakes can be costly. They can be dangerous. We work, around cars, and cars are heavy, and if you make a mistake with them, or if you wreck one, or you damage one, it can be very expensive, or it could hurt the person that is involved with the car. So we have to always be, we have to pay real close attention to what we're doing and make sure that we're always focused on what we're doing to make sure that we don't make costly mistakes.
So if somebody wanted to work in this type of environment or here at Marshfield Chevrolet, what would be required to be considered for employment?
Well, as far as an entry-level position, we want people to graduate from high school, of course. That's very important. If you're just talking about coming straight from high school into the dealership, you're probably going to wind up in the get-ready department, where we clean cars and maintain the lot and put the cars out there for sale and stuff like that. We call those lot porters. And basically what they do is they wash cars and get them ready so we can sell them. We have had a lot of girls and guys. Well, we haven't really had any guys in this position, but not that we wouldn't take the right guy. In their early 20s in the office that answer the phones and that type thing, that start, kind of back there doing office work. We've had parts people that came in and worked in the parts department in their 20s. If you want to be a mechanic, you're going to have to get some school, usually, like in, say, OTC type environment, or at least a high school auto mechanics class. You want to start accumulating a basic set of tools if you want to be a mechanic. Wrenches, screwdrivers, just a basic set of tools, socket set, that type thing. So when you come in, you've got at least a small toolbox ready to go, because all of our mechanics do maintain their own tools.
So do you have to be 18 to work here?
Yeah, you do have to be 18.
And do you?
Well, we've had some part-time lot porters that were like seniors in high school, so they may have been as young as 17, I think, 16 maybe even.
So what are some of your most important rules or policies at Marshfield Chevrolet?
Well, we don't tolerate any type of discrimination. age, gender, anything. We expect everyone to treat each other with respect and kindness. Well, and we just expect people to wear seatbelts when they're in a car. That they're they have to take a car to go down and fill up with gas. They're required to wear a seatbelt. They can't be on their cell phones when they're driving a car.
Now, what do you have? What about cell phones in the workplace? Is that okay sometimes, or?
Well, it depends. There's different, our salespeople, they use their cell phones constantly, communicating with customers, texting, sending pictures. Social media is real big now. When someone will buy a car, we'll take a picture of them with their new car, put it on Facebook and say, congratulations on your new car. And then all their friends see that they just bought a new car, and it builds a lot of excitement, and that's called marketing. And it's important to market yourself and the dealership.
What actions have been good cause for you to fire someone?
Well, I would say lack of effort. I would say the people that we let go are ones who they work very slow. They don't seem like they care. When you explain them how to do something several times and they still continue to make the same mistake over and over. We have had some people get ready people who wreck cars. And like I said, that's very expensive. So, if they bump a car once, we're usually willing to forgive them. Twice, maybe. But if they bump a car about the third time, they're probably not cut out to be driving cars around the car lot, because it's too expensive to keep them around. And then other than that, our salespeople, of course, they have to sell cars. So if they don't sell cars, eventually we have to say, hey, maybe you're not cut out for this line of work. I hate firing people, to be honest with you. I do it as infrequently as I possibly can.
Yeah.
It's a last resort. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do have to do it, I'm always kind of more so that maybe this just isn't the job for you, as opposed to you did a bad job, so I'm firing you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody has a place in this world, and a place that they'll find that they do well. It took me a few different. I sold dogs and cats and shoes and stuff like that. It took me a while to find my place.
Yeah.
So if I let somebody go, it's never a thing where I basically am passing judgment on that person. I'm just saying maybe they're not a good fit for that particular job.
So I guess you haven't had a lot of problems with people calling in a lot, or people that just don't show up. Does that ever happen? Or
Oh, it most definitely happens.
Uh-huh.
A lot of times that's got to do with some kind of dependency issue.
Uh-huh.
I've dealt with that a lot of times where people have been dependent on different substances, and that definitely affects your ability and drive, and those people a lot of times don't want to show up to work, or they're incapable of showing up to work. So we have to let them go sometimes.
Yeah.
And of course we always encourage them to get help, and in most cases we were willing to give them another shot if they did. But most people that aren't in a dependency type situation, they show up when they're supposed to.
What is one thing you wish someone would have shared with you before starting work?
Remember, there's a work-life balance. Try and find a job to where you have enough time with your family too, and not just always at work. Because I missed out on an awful lot on watching you grow up, and I probably worked too much, and I probably had too little time with my family. Well, there's really no probably to it. I did. I worked too much, didn't spend enough time with my family. So if I was giving someone advice, I'd say make sure you find that work-life balance.
What is your advice for giving a good first impression or job interview for somebody?
Well, to this day, I'm older, and if I was in an interview, I would still say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I'm going to sit up straight. I'm going to look the person in the eye. I'm going to make sure my hair is brushed and my teeth are brushed, and that I'm wearing nice clothes. I'm not going to walk in looking like I'm there for a sleepover. I'm going to walk in looking like I'm applying for a job. Doesn't always mean a shirt and tie, but it does mean, good, sharp looking shirt. Like I said, take the time to go get a haircut if you need a haircut, or shave if you need to shave, or whatever you need to do. But make sure that when you look in the mirror, you see someone you'd want to hire. And that's important. It's important to take care of, to make sure you look the part. Other than that, be upbeat, not fake, but make sure that you come across as a person who is confident in their ability to be an asset to that business. You want a person who wants to work there and who feels like, hey, if you hire me, that's going to be a good move for you, because we're both going to benefit. I get to work at a great place and you get to have me working there, and I'm going to make your business better because of the effort and the job performance that I'm going to bring. I'm going to help your business grow. I care about your business. I want it to do well.
Yeah, I talk to students a lot about knowing what your strengths are and listing those strengths when you have an interview in a way that's just be confident, list those strengths, but don't act like you're like the king of the world or anything.
Right.
But yeah. So all good workers have to start somewhere. What was your very first job ever?
Washing dishes at Aunt Martha's Pancake House for $1.50 an hour.
Whoa.
$1.50 an hour.
Is that like the 50s?
Yeah, you're funny. That was like 1976, probably. I saved my money to buy a stereo. I mowed lawns. I babysat. I did all kinds of stuff. When it would snow, when we'd have a snow day, I'd get my shovel and go out and I'd shovel driveways all day. And I'd come back when it was dark with a pocket full of cash while all my friends were building snowmen, I guess.